Hello and welcome along to Adobe After Effects Basics with your host Robert Smith. In this video we're going to work on video, that is sequencing videos, much the same as we've sequenced still images in previous videos. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to go to File, Import like this, Import File. Now don't be confused by this multiple files thing here. That simply means it'll open up the dialog box again once you've imported something. So I'm just going to leave it on File like this. And I can import multiple files simply by clicking on the top one, holding the Shift key down and clicking on the bottom one like this. Now it's a little bit tricky why that does that. Open that window a bit more and I'll open that. And in come my videos. Now there are no options on the way in. They're simple MP4 videos that I've shot on various cameras. Now the trick with video is to look at your frame rate. Some cameras give you a lot of different frame rates, and they're great cameras. This was shot on all different sorts of cameras, but they're all shot at 25 frames per second. If, for example, you're shooting on the Apple iPhone, whatever, it likes to shoot at 29.97 frames per second. And so whatever the camera shoots at is what your frame rate for the composition should be. That's just a simple or a basic rule of thumb. There are exceptions, but that'll get you going. Okay, here I've got 8 videos, I think. So if I click on the top one, hold the Shift key down, click on the bottom one like this, I'm going to sequence these automatically by simply clicking and dragging down onto this little black icon next to the 8BPC like that. And up comes the new composition from selection dialog box, which is very, very handy. Okay, we want to make a single composition. That's what we want. Don't worry about the still duration. We want to sequence our layers. We want to overlap them by about 15 frames. That's that figure here. And in the transition we want to dissolve the front layer like that, so we get a bit of a transition between the two videos, or as they change from one video to the next. I'm going to click OK, and as you can see, After Effects has looked after us. It's made a composition. It's worked out how long all the videos take. In this case it's about 52 seconds like that, and it's sequenced them in the order that we selected them. So if I press the RAM preview over here like that, I can now see my videos. They go from one to the other like that. Now I can do that manually, so let me do that manually. That's the automatic way of doing it. What I'll do is I'll just stop that and I'll Apple Z that back and do the same thing again. This time I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to make a new composition up here, 1280 by 720, 25 frames per second. That's correct. And it's longer than 30 seconds. It's about 60, so I'm going to type in 60 there. I could have typed in 6,000, but 60 seconds. I'm a bit used to using this SMPTE timecode thing, and a black background is good. Okay, here's our timeline. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to simply grab my videos, select the top one, hold the Shift key, select the bottom one, drag them down into the timeline like this. And as you can see, each one of these videos has varying duration. Some are 2 seconds long, some are 4 seconds long, 5 seconds long, but that's reflected in my timeline here. Now the trick to sequence these in the order you want them to be sequenced, for example, let's say you wanted this one first, then if I hold the Command key down or Control on the PC, let's say I want the train next, then the people in the car, then harbour, then street, then underwater, street, and street. So the order I select them is the order they'll be sequenced. So to do that, I'm going to go to Animation, Keyframe Assistance, Sequence Layers, same as I would with still images. Up comes our Sequence Layer dialog box. I'm going to click on Overlap. Now I want to overlap about 15 frames is good, which is a bit more than half a second. 15 frames, and I want to dissolve the front layer like this, so we get a bit of a fade between each video. And then I'll simply click OK, and you'll notice now that it's sequenced it in the order that we selected them, and that's quite important when we've got plenty of videos. Let's play that and see what it looks like. In comes the train, very nice like that, and it's just sequencing through those videos. It's doing it very quickly the first time through because it doesn't have much to think about. Now it's playing it back in real time, which is one of the tricks of After Effects. Normally the first time through it can be a little bit stuttery for the simple fact that it's working out, it's doing all the sums in the background the first time through, and that's what a RAM preview is all about, this thing up here. If we click on that, the first time it goes through, normally again it's a little bit jittery. The second time through should be what's called real time, and that's what we're looking at right now. Okay, now if I wanted to make a movie out of that, it's quite a simple process. I'm going to go to the last layer, which in this case will be this layer here, the street cross. That's the last layer. I'll press the letter O to go to the out position of that layer. Press the letter N to bring my end of my composition to that point in time. Let me just show you a little trick here. Now normally we would leave it like that, but that's a little bit messy. Let's say we're really happy with that and we want to trim our comp to this length, whatever it is. It's not 1 minute anymore, it's about 50 seconds or 45 seconds. Now if I hold the command key down and click, make that control key down, make that control and click on this little grey bit there like that, I get this option to trim comp to work area. Now we do this a lot, and what this will do, it will simply make our comp the length that we've got it now. So I'm going to click on trim comp like that. Now you'll notice that my comp now is only 45 seconds long like that, and it takes up the whole timeline, and that can come in very, very handy. Okay, in the next video we'll look at actually cropping these videos before we sequence them. Okay, thanks for watching.